4, and I'll answer more questions at 2 o'clock about what I'm not too happy about. But all in all, I think it's going to be good for the sport just because of the fact that so essentially the rumors are true because nothing's really been announced, but you're going to have the brackets of knocking guys out and all that stuff, but what's interesting is it's going to all come down to one race, and one race at Homestead is going to make you your champion, which I get. You've obviously got to win playoff games in order to get to that spot. It's no different than being in the NFL. You had the Denver Broncos last year who were 13-3, let's say, and they go into the first round of the playoffs and they get beat by the worst seeded wild card team out there, and then that worst seeded wild card team goes on and wins the championship for the whole year, right? So you can't just be good through the regular season, but you have to be good in the postseason as well too. And so that's what this sport's going more towards. It has with the chase format since 2004, and I think now this new format is just going to excel on that, bring more teams and drivers to the playing field, but also give more of an opportunity to produce yourself through the weeks to get yourself ready for the final hoorah come Homestead.
But in the football analogy, you only have to beat one other team. I mean, you're out there running against 42 other guys, some of whom are in the playoffs and some of whom are not.
Yes, but when it comes down to the final race, you're only racing those 4 guys, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter if you win. Yeah, you need to win. Win would obviously secure your championship at Homestead, but essentially you're just racing those 4 guys. It don't matter about anybody else out there, So, when you get to the chase, you're racing those 16 guys, and then you're going to be racing those 12 guys. Then you're going to be racing you get the gist. That's essentially what it boils down to. But there's a few things ideas that Coach had, that I had, that Matt had, and Denny had as well. We all expressed our reasons of making some slight changes to it and seeing that if they would bite on any of it, but they didn't, of course, and it was already said and done, and what's coming's coming.
So, given your, sometimes you're good before the chase, sometimes you're not, what do you and Dave look at as far as how you strategize with the 18 team?
Well, essentially, your best way of going throughout the chase is to win a race in every 3 races, right? That obviously gets you locked into the next round. So, being able to do that is key. So looking at separating those 3 races out into each one, can you go test at those tracks? Are there tracks like it you can go test at without wasting a test at those tracks? So those are the things that everybody's going to be looking at and trying to figure out their best strategy and best way of getting to and achieving the ultimate goal of winning races in those races.
Does the new qualifying procedures, does that benefit Kyle Busch?
I don't know that it really does. I don't know. Again, I hate to be Debbie Downer, but I think there's going to be a lot of downtime. I mean, you might see a car or 2 out on the racetrack here or there, but it's not going to be like 15 cars out on the racetrack making something exciting is what people are assuming. Yeah, restrictor plate races, you'll see that, but when you've got 30 minutes, let's say at Martinsville, you go out and make a lap, well, then you're going to sit there for 30 minutes because you're not going to go out and make another lap on your tires. You're not going to heat up your motor again. You're going to hope that you're in the top 25 or whatever the round is in order to move you forward. But you can't work on your car. So if you go out there and make a lap and you're 30th, you got to go out and see if the driver can make up the difference to get you into the top 20. But you can't work on the car at all. There's no air pressure adjustments. There's no rounds in the rear windows. There's nothing until the break. You can't work on the car at all until the break. So once you make a lap, I think you're going to sit there for a while.
So the big decision is really when to go.
The big decision is going to be when to go. Exactly. That's a good point. So, I mean, you may see, which I don't think you'll really see this, but you may see in the last 5 minutes, let's just say at Martinsville, there's a log jam at the end of pit road because everybody wants to go, but the track's kind of full, So that might be about the only time we see something sort of entertaining. But